is that you? Ah, good to see you again. Bonjour tout le monde and welcome to English with Kathryn. Cette leçon va être en anglais, mais je vais parler lentement. This lesson will be in English, but I will speak slowly for you. You need to practice your listening, right? Mais si vous avez des soucis à me comprendre, il y a des sous-titres en français. Same with English. If you don't understand my English, you can put the subtitles on in English. I also have the transcript, which is everything I say here in the video, and difficult words explained in the PDF that goes in this video. Click in the description below to access it. So have you got to an intermediate level in English and then just plateaued or stayed at that level? So you're able to have conversations, you're able to go shopping and do most things in English, but when it comes to having deep discussions or debates or giving your opinions as clearly as you would in your native tongue, or feel extra confident at work speaking English, you feel you still are a long way off becoming that advanced speaker you really want to be. So here are 3 reasons why making that extra progress is really difficult, and some ideas for helping you to go from intermediate to advanced level. So when you start learning English, you're a beginner, right? Progress is easy to see. You go from not being able to speak, to forming sentences, to actually being able to have a full conversation. And once you reach intermediate level, you have learned the most important grammar rules, so you can be understood easily for the most part. So this is why from an intermediate level and above, it's harder to see progress because there are not as many obvious things to learn. At an intermediate level, most people understand you, so nobody actually corrects you because you can communicate pretty well. And you may be able even to speak fluently, but you might still be making a lot of mistakes because nobody corrects you and you don't know what mistakes you're making. So you actually stop learning and you make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And you might also find that at the intermediate level, your vocabulary is kind of stuck. You aren't really actively learning any new words and your conversations feel boring because you're using the same words again and again. And this is perhaps the biggest factor in not progressing in your English. And it can be really frustrating and demotivating. So with all this said, what are some of the ways that you can make that step from the B1, B2 levels to advanced C1, C2 levels? So first of all, if what you're doing now isn't working, you have to change. As the saying goes, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I think it was Benjamin Franklin. For example, do you read the same newspaper in English all the time? Are you still struggling to read that same book you've been reading for 6 months now? Every time you go to bed, you're like, oh, you read a paragraph, the same paragraph again and again. Are you just passively watching TV in English, hoping that the vocabulary will magically enter your brain by osmosis? Well, here are some ways you can improve your level so you can feel more confident with your English. First of all, are you speaking English to anyone? Are you practicing speaking? Well, the chances are if you're not speaking English at all, then you're probably not going to improve in leaps and bounds. And if you don't have anyone to practice with, just click on the link in the PDF in the description of this email and I will give you some different ways to connect with people for free and also some paid options as well. Are you treating your English learning as an important part of your development? If you're just learning some English here and there, and not planning it or dedicating specific time to it, then it won't improve, right? It doesn't magically happen. What you can do is you can start off by planning a simple 10 minutes a day then increase it to 15 minutes, then 20 minutes. You can do it on your lunch break or first thing when you wake up. Studies have shown that consistency is better than doing everything all at once, especially when learning a new skill. So for example, many of my students do their homework from me right before the class. You know who you are. So they do it quickly and they might not be doing it in a very relaxed state over a period of time. However, if they broke down that homework to say 10 minutes a day and really took time, they would probably learn more vocabulary and take in more of the lesson. It's a really good idea to work on your weaknesses. What mistakes are you making? Do you have trouble with certain tenses, like the present perfect? There are a million videos on YouTube about it online that you can practice things like that. Do you not know your weaknesses? Well, if not, then why not do my English level test where you can get tips on how to correct all the questions you got wrong. The link to that test is in the description below. You can also contact me on Instagram or via my email and I can point you in the right direction. Last but not least, in order to move from intermediate to advanced, you need to be using expressions and phrases that native speakers use. And you can do this through reading and through watching TV shows. But you always need to have a pen and paper handy when you do that, right? It's not always convenient. And you may not like doing that as it kind of ruins your reading or your viewing experience. A faster way to have effective conversations where you don't need to think and translate before you reply, that's what effective means, is to study real conversations and see new language in context. But not only see it, you need to learn it, test it on yourself and actually use it. So my fluency program takes one real conversation each month and breaks it down into vocabulary, expression, phrasal verbs and pronunciations of difficult words. And I also analyze fast speech so you can speak like a native speaker in terms of being able to speak more fluently and with confidence. And the great thing about this is that you not only get all of that, but you also get to use the language you've learned with lots of quizzes, worksheets, small group conversation classes every month, and even a one-on-one with me every month. It's honestly everything you need to take your English to the next level, and it's quicker than doing it on your own. In this month's fluency course, I speak to Robert, whose hobby is acting, and he is from Ireland, so we will be focusing on the Irish accent in this lesson. And other lessons we speak with people from America, from England, Australia, and so you get a taste of many different accents. Here's a little excerpt from my chat with Rob. Will you understand everything?
And actually an interesting story. I was so nervous
Right.
on the first night, and my first few lines were a song.
Right.
And I was
Sorry,
behind
what was the musical?
Viva Mexico.
Oh, right. Okay.
I played Zorro, you know,
Yeah. Zorro. Yeah.
played Zorro, I had a mask and the whole lot. But just before I went on stage, I blanked completely. I couldn't remember any of my lines.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh God, somebody give me a script. I had to look at it. I was looking at it and I was looking at it and I was like, oh no. And then it was like 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and someone just pushed me out. And I said, ah. And then the song came to me just at the right time.
And don't worry if you didn't understand everything there, because this is what the course does. It goes into all the language you need. Here are some sample videos of the explanations I give about the videos. Okay, so the first word is blanked. So the word blank means a space. For example, a blank in a sentence is a gap or a space in a sentence. And if you blank or you go blank, it means that your mind goes empty. And this is what Robert says in the video.
But just before I went on stage, I blanked completely.
So basically, he forgets all his lines. His mind went blank. Now, can you think of any scenarios where you go blank? Okay, thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in my new Fluency Club. And if not, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, don't forget to click like and subscribe for future videos. See you next time.